Hi there, I'm Peggy McColl, and I want to welcome you back to the Manifestation Podcast. Today, we're going to do a special episode, and the focus of today's episode is on one of my absolute favorite books. It is a book called Feeling is the Secret, and the author is Neville Goddard, Neville. And actually, on the front cover of this book, all it says is Neville. So, why are we doing a podcast on this book alone when I'm the author of 18 books myself? Well, I believe there's such a simple yet powerful message that you're going to find within this book that has the potential to change your life in every way. Now, that may seem like a strong suggestion or a strong comment to make, but nonetheless, it is absolutely true. So when you think about this, feeling is the secret. You see, I've been studying personal development now at this point in my life for over 40 years. And I've studied how the mind works, how the brain works, why we are the way we are, and how we can create different results in our life based on changing the way that we're thinking, and more importantly, how we are feeling. And so feelings are your emotions. It's what you're feeling at any given moment is basically what you're going to be expressing out, giving energy out into the world. And it's also going to be based on what you're attracting back into your life. So if we look at this idea, the concept of feeling is the secret, in the foreword of this book, Neville Goddard says, this book is concerned with the art of realizing your desire. So it's a simple book. It's only, how many pages? 56 pages in total. And yet what he says is this book will give you an account of the mechanism used in the production of the visible world. So in other words, it helps you understand why things were created in the first place. And he says it's a small book, but not slight. You see, a lot of people think that you have to have volumes of books in order to really understand how this manifestation process works. But you don't. Could you get everything that you need in one book? Sure. Could it be this book? Yes. Could it be The Demand Principle, one of my books? Yes. Could it be Your Destiny Switch, another one of my books? Yes. Could it be Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich? Yes. It's not that we have to read volumes and volumes and volumes and volumes of books, or book after book after book, or go to seminar after seminar after seminar, or listen to audio after audio after audio, or watch video after video after video. What really works is when you understand these ideas and you apply them into your life. And it's not only understand, it's understand and apply into your life. But I believe you can only apply it when you really get that deep understanding and when you're given the tools. And that's a big part of what I believe I'm here for on this planet, is to give you tools so that you can have the understanding and apply it. One of the tools that we give away actually is a narrated version, an audio version of this book, Feeling is the Secret, in a place that's completely free that I've set up for you online called the Manifestation Toolbox.com. So you can go to manifestationtoolbox.com right now and download a free audio version of this book that I've read for you that you can utilize. So here's what he goes on to say right in the beginning. He said, there's a treasure in it, meaning in this book, a clearly defined road to the realization of your dreams. So if you know that, if this is a very clear, defined road that's going to help you understand how to get to your dreams, wouldn't you want to pay attention to it? Of course you would. All right, so he says this. Now, I'm going to just focus on highlights from this book. Now, I do suggest you get the book, and I do suggest you study the book, and I do suggest that you have this functionality of being in harmony with the goods that you desire. In other words, feeling as if you already have that which you desire on a consistent basis. So this book and my work will help you accomplish that. So in chapter 1, and chapter 1 is called Law and Its Operation, Neville Goddard goes on to say this. He said, knowledge of the law of consciousness and the method of operating this law will enable you to accomplish all that you desire in life. Armed with a working knowledge of this law, you can build and maintain an ideal world. Really, what is he saying? What I just said, that when you understand it and you apply it, you'll get the results. Okay? He's just saying it in a different way. And that's the benefit I have found from studying many different teachers on this subject, is that when you study different teachers, it's not that you're getting a different message, it's that you're having a different messenger deliver that message to you. And that's why it's valuable. So you may hear something that I'm saying, or read something that I've written, or watch a video that I've produced, and it's going to give you a deeper level of understanding. And then you may reach a point where you're going, I get it. I understand it now. This makes sense. She's just explained it in a way that I can now understand it. Or that could happen when you're watching one of Bob Proctor's videos, or watching or listening to something that Dr. Joseph Murphy created. But either way, the idea is to really get to that point of understanding so that you can apply it. So Neville says the conscious is the realm of effect. The subconscious is the realm of cause. So here we have Neville Goddard explaining how the conscious mind works and how the subconscious mind works. So it's like Bob Proctor defines, it's like the conscious mind is the entry point. That's where ideas come into your mind. Now you have the ability with your conscious mind, because it's a reasoning mind, to either accept or reject that idea. And you can choose, am I going to accept that idea or not accept that idea? But if you're not even aware that you can accept or reject, you may be just allowing information to go in that is not serving you, that will create emotions, an emotional experience that is not creative. It could be destructive. An example would be news, having the news turned on. It's negative, it's destructive, it's disturbing, it's going to upset you, puts you into a vibration of low energy, of sadness, of frustration, of anger, of defeat, or whatever it is. Now, you don't even have to necessarily watch something like the news or a disturbing movie to have that experience. You could simply reflect back in your conscious mind on an experience that happened to you and relive it. And what you're doing is you're giving more energy and more power to those emotions that is going to have you continuing to recreate more of the same. This is why people that are raised in dysfunctional environments or poor surroundings continue to experience that kind of lifestyle, because that's what they know, that's what they see, that's what's reinforced in their thinking space. However, it can be changed by changing what you're allowing to go into your mind. Now, if you're listening to this podcast, I suspect that you've made a really good decision to only allow positivity to come into your conscious mind. And if so, great. I made that decision many, many years ago, and made another decision to not allow any negativity to enter my space, because I want you to know this: you are always in control of how you feel. I'm going to repeat that. You are always in control of how you feel. No one, nothing, no experience causes you to feel anything. You give these experiences the meaning. You give them meaning. So could somebody go through an absolutely horrific life experience and have it be something that was or has some kind of a positive impact? Yes. I was raised in an environment that was dysfunctional and it was abusive. But when I look back at my past, I'm grateful for it, because it helps me understand what emotional pain is so I can help people get out of it, right? Also, it's in the past. It's not what I'm experiencing right now. And I choose not to relive it. I choose not to have this be my experience in my life, because my parents went through horrific experiences as children. And so I've had the experience of being abused, and it is what it is. I can't change that. It's in the past. I can no more change that, my past, than I can change the time I got out of bed this morning. All right. So you got to understand this and realize this and get a hold of it and understand, if you would love to experience something wonderful in your life in the future, you got to change what's going on right now in your conscious mind. So the subconscious mind, this is what Neville says, does not originate ideas. See, ideas are originated in the conscious mind. So he says the subconscious mind does not originate ideas, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels to be true, and in a way known only to itself, objectifies the accepted ideas. All right. So how do these ideas get into the subconscious mind? I want you to listen. This is so important. It gets into your subconscious mind through repetition, spaced time repetition. This is the reason why you may have heard me say the Power Life Script process, which is my process. It's a process I created back in the 90s and I've been implementing for many, many years, has made the biggest difference in my life. Why? Because through my conscious mind, I accept ideas. Through repetition, they go into my subconscious mind because I listen to my Power Life Script over and over and over and over and over again until it has become a part of who I am. All right, I emotionalize it. I feel it to be true, these messages that I've written in my Power Life Script. And by the way, if you'd like to find out more about Power Life Script, go to powerlifescript.com. Neville Goddard goes on to say, control of the subconscious is accomplished through control of your ideas and feelings. Okay, so how do you control your ideas and feelings? Through what are you giving your attention to? This is why I discipline myself to only give thoughts and energy to what I desire and stay away from things that I do not desire. It's through discipline, daily discipline. And you'll find the explanation of what daily discipline is also on the Manifestation Toolbox and a daily discipline checklist that you can follow along. All right. So Neville Goddard goes on to say, feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. So when I'm teaching people about creating their Power Life Script, I will tell them and guide them to record your Power Life Script with all the emotion in the world. In other words, you've got to feel it. You've got to feel that you're living your dream life now. You've got to feel that you're prosperous if that's what you desire. You've got to feel that you're happy if that's what you desire. All right? It's important to really feel it and feel it now. So the Power Life Script process, through you recording it with all the enthusiasm, will have that feeling be conveyed through the subconscious mind to the subconscious mind through the repetition. Then Neville says the disciplining of self to image and entertain only such feelings as contributes to your happiness. That's why the way your Power Life Script is really important. You want to write it in a way that's only positive, that's only supportive. Then he says, what you do not want done unto you, do not feel it it's done unto another. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression. So when you're feeling negative about someone else, that's making a subconscious impression. When you're feeling upset about what's going on in the world, you're making a subconscious impression. When you're angry about something, you're making a subconscious impression. All right? So every feeling makes a subconscious impression unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature. It must be expressed. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. I am healthy is stronger than I will be healthy. To feel I will be is to confess I am not. This, my friends, is an example of the reason why many people never experience what they want, because they constantly talk about wanting it or when they will have it, they will feel, not the way it works. You must feel it right now, right into your heart, as if your desire is already here right now. All right, that's what must be done. All right, so think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize, feeling the reality of a state sought, and living and acting on that conviction is the way of all seeming miracles. All right, let me repeat that so you really understand it. Think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize, because feeling the reality of the state sought and living and acting on that conviction is the way to all seeming miracles. This is it. This is the secret to everything. You've got to really understand that. Now, we're just pulling out a couple of different ideas that I found to be absolutely powerful from this book, Feeling is the Secret. I absolutely recommend that you read it as well. Okay, I'm going to read one more part and then we're going to wrap it up from this book. Okay, so your dream takes form as you assume the feeling of your reality. Your dream takes form as you assume the feeling of your reality. But here's another place where people get stumped. It's taking form. Where is it taking form? It's taking form in an invisible realm. In other words, you're not seeing it yet. You're not seeing it yet, but you got to believe it and you got to feel it and you got to consistently believe it and feel it. So in a number of my programs, when I'm working with my clients, I will guide them to connect to the feeling state of already having that which they desire. And they get it and they understand it and they connect to the feeling and they're there in alignment with it right there. But are they doing it in the next 10 minutes? Are they doing it an hour later? Are they doing it that evening as they're getting ready to go to bed? Are they doing it tomorrow morning when something upsets them? No, you've got to consistently feel it. Do not limit yourself to the past. Knowing that nothing is impossible to consciousness, begin to imagine states beyond the experiences of the past. Whatever the mind of man can imagine, man can realize. All objective, visible states were first subjective states, invisible. And you called them into visible states by assuming the feeling of their reality. The creative process is first imagining and then believing the state imagined. Always imagine and expect the best. All right? Always imagine and expect the best. You want to fully embody this. You want to be living as if your dreams are fulfilled right now. And you want to be living this way every single day. You want to condition your conscious mind through your repetition, through listening over and over again, to you speaking to yourself about how incredible your life is, how magnificent it is, how abundant you're living, and really embrace the emotions. Now, at first, it may seem awkward. At first, you may not be connecting to the emotions, but you've got to really discipline yourself to do this on a regular basis, on a daily basis, by committing to certain disciplines that are going to cause you to feel it. Because as Neville Goddard says, feeling is really the secret. It is the secret to everything. And when you really understand this and you begin to do this, you want to be doing it on a regular basis so that all you're feeling is what you desire. And another part of Feeling is the Secret that I believe is incredibly valuable is the following. Neville Goddard says, the subconscious accepts as true that which you feel as true, because creation is the result of subconscious impressions. You, by your feeling, determine creation. You are already that which you want to be. And your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. He says, denying the evidence of the senses and appropriating the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the way to the realization of your desire. Mastery of self-control of your thoughts and feelings is your highest achievement. So when we're talking about denying the evidence of the senses, what does that mean? It means that most people look at their present results, they look at the state of their life, and they get emotionally involved in that, desiring to something else, but staying in the feeling states of what is existing in their life now. It doesn't mean you ignore your responsibilities. It doesn't mean that you don't pay your bills. It means that even though you may look at the debt or you may look at the lack, you don't get emotionally involved in it. So denying the evidence of the senses means you don't get emotionally involved in what's happening right now. What you get emotionally involved in is feeling as if your dream is fulfilled, feeling as if your desire is already here. Now, I have a question that I ask myself multiple times every single day, and I'm going to wrap up this podcast with this question, and I suggest you write it down. And not only write it down, but ask yourself this question and answer the question multiple times every single day. And the question that you're going to ask yourself is the following: now that my dream is fulfilled, how do I feel? Now, if you don't want to use the word dream and you'd like to use the word goal, now that my goal is fulfilled, or now that I have that which I desire, and now that I'm wealthy and rich and happy, how do I feel? Answer that question. Now that your dream is fulfilled, how do you feel? This will put you into the feeling states of already living the dream life that you so rightly deserve. You do deserve it because your success is absolutely guaranteed. So implement that today. I know this is very valuable. It's valuable. It's a valuable understanding. It's valuable to implement. It's changed my life in every way. And be sure to also check out and create your Power Left script so that you're using it every single day. It's going to make it so much easier for you. Well, that's a wrap for today's Manifestation Podcast. If you love our podcast, leave us a 5-star review and share it with your friends. I look forward to being back with you in a future episode of the Manifestation Podcast.